Good evening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to CAA Travel Talks, our first one of the season. And we have our very favorite river cruise partner with us tonight, AmaWaterways. So thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, Neil. Always great to have you with us. Absolutely love working with you and the whole team at AmaWaterways.
Thanks for having me, Karen.
So before we get started, I'm just going to drop a little note for you that if you have any questions throughout the presentation, there's a little Q&A box just at the bottom of your screen. Please feel free to drop in any questions. We'll be sure to address those by the end of the presentation. So once again, welcome. Just going to let everybody join here. We've got a good few joined. That's great. So I'm Karen Taff, and I'm the manager of product development and groups at CAA North and East. And as I mentioned, AmaWaterways is our absolute favorite river cruise line. Our members love traveling with them. They have some exclusive member benefits that you will get for only being a member with us, and Neil will share those details with you later on. So why CAA? Well, we've been in business since 1961. We've got our stores in Ottawa, Thunder Bay, Sudbury, and North Bay ready to serve you. You can go on into the store, give us a call, or work online. We've got exclusive member benefits that you're not going to find anywhere else, and it's part of our CA Vacation program. Some of the other perks, besides the added value that you're going to receive, are a 24/7 member care best price guarantee, and also a big portion that's so important for us is what I say is the most important thing I pack is travel insurance. As a member, you're going to be saving up to 20%, which is huge. And that's whether you're looking at, emergency medical or a whole vacation package, including your travel cancellation, interruption, and baggage insurance. Now, before we get started, check your passport. If it has expired, make sure you go on into the store and get your passport photos done for free if you are a Plus or a Premier member. And if you are an Everyday or a Classic member, you can get them for only $8.50, and all of our stores can assist you with that. You can earn CA dollars with our travel reward partners. If you go onto our website and hit rewards, you'll be shocked at how many places you can save. And you can earn some CA dollars and apply those to your AmaWaterways River Cruise. If you need an international driving permit, go on into the stores and we can help you with those. So in addition to that incredible 20% saving on travel insurance, if you're needing any luggage or accessories, you can be saving up to 20%, as well as our partner Shell Gas. Most people now know it's been a couple of years, and that's a great saving of 3 cents a liter and 10% off car washes. So Neil, thank you so much again for hosting. I know a lot of our team have just come back with, we've had somebody recently sail the Rhine, and somebody came back off the Danube. And as always, they said the experience, the staff on board, the cuisine, everything was exceptional.
Well, thank you, Karen. Always good to hear that. And hey, I get all my gas at Shell because I've got my CA membership too. So it's a good partnership on both sides.
Great.
So,
All
folks,
right. So as I mentioned, once again, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the box, and we'll address those at the very end.
perfect. That's my cue to take over, folks, and tell you about the wonderful world of luxury river cruising with AmaWaterways. So my name is Neil Dudley, and I want to start with a little history about the company in case you are not familiar with us. We are a European family-founded organization, 2 main families since our inception just over 23 years ago. You've got Rudy and Christine, husband and wife team from Germany and Austria, combined with the Murphy family from over in Ireland. So if you're ever wondering, where does the name AmaWaterways come from? Well, when our owners got together all those years ago, they really want to incorporate their true love and passion forever into the name of the company. So if there's anybody listening tonight who remembers your Latin lessons from old, you may know that Ama means love in Latin, and that's actually where the name of our company comes from. Now, folks, I know I'm not there live to ask a question and see the survey of hands, but I'm going to assume there's a very good chance that most of you have taken an ocean cruise before. And while we are a cruising experience, we are very different to our ocean cruising cousins. On a river cruise, you are always within sight of land. A different port of call each and every day, generally arriving around breakfast, staying right through till dinner, late nights and overnights in a number of ports of call. And with AmaWaterways, folks, a much more intimate cruising environment with an average of 155 guests on board our ships. Now, at AmaWaterways, folks, we say we are the leaders in innovation. And this is not just something that our marketing department came up with, but it's based on the fact that Rudy down there in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, not just one of our owners, He's actually the architect and designer of every single one of our ships, always coming up with something new and exciting that the world of river cruising has never seen before. We were the very first river cruise line to bring out ships with outdoor balconies. And as you just saw on that last slide, there's always something to see, day or night. First river cruise line to bring bikes on board for guests to use, to have a wellness host, to have a fitness center. But there's another reason why Rudy in our industry is referred to as the godfather of river cruising. And that's because there's an issue that can sometimes happen on a river cruise experience that you may have heard of. And that is that water levels can be too high or too low. Well, Rudy knew all about this, so actually designed our fleet of ships to have the shallowest draft of any river cruise line, only needing about 4 feet of water underneath us in order to be able to cruise, putting us in the best position to always provide you with that luxury river cruise experience. Now, folks, I can tell you it's in Rudy's lifelong dream to always be a river cruise owner, architect, designer, and it actually goes back to the very first river cruise he ever took, which I happen to have footage to share with you right now. Now, it does go back quite a ways, folks, back to 1975, in fact, on the Amazon, and there is Rudy up close and in person. Now, folks, if you've not yet been on AmaWaterways, I can assure you, we've come a long way since Rudy's very first river cruise. There's no more manual labor involved for you. In fact, folks, this is what the AmaWaterways experience looks like today. That, folks, is just a little glimpse into the AmaWaterways experience. And what I want to do tonight is tell you the AmaWaterways difference. And it starts with the fact that we've got a fleet of 28 sister ships on the various rivers in and around the world. And doesn't matter which river you're on, doesn't matter which ship, because it was really important that that we make sure that no matter where you're cruising, you always get that same onboard AmaWaterways experience. I'm going to talk about one ship just a little different. She's the AmaMagna. She came out in 2019, and she's the world's largest river cruise ship ever to be built, twice as wide as our regular fleet in Europe. And Rudy built her because he'd hear all sorts of people talk about their various cruise vacations, and he'd ask them if they'd ever been on a river cruise before, and he'd hear all sorts of answers such as, I'm not old enough to do a river cruise, or I'm going to be bored on a river cruise, or the cabins are too small, or there's not enough food choices on board. Well, that's why Rudy built the AmaMagna. The AmaMagna has 4 different restaurants on board. These are all included experiences. Rooftop heated pool, a hot tub, multiple lounges, including a private movie theater. So multiple entertainment going on, just like you'd find on an ocean cruise experience. But folks, we only added another 40 guests, so 196 passengers. That's because the size of the suites are truly something unheard of for a river cruise experience. They start at 355 square feet and go up to 710 square feet. Folks, that's bigger than my condo here in downtown Toronto. So trust me, you'll be very comfortable when you are on board. But there are a couple of other exclusive programs that we have only available on the Alma Magna, including a wellness studio, indoor-outdoor experience, a golf concierge program, and perhaps the most popular one yet got added just last year. There is the world's only full-size regulation pickleball court on the river. Is very excited, and it's great having an owner that designed all of our ships, because all of our ships are built with sound absorption walls and floors. So if you happen to be in the lobby underneath the pickleball courts, you'll have no idea they're actually playing. So let's talk about the accommodation on all of our ships over in Europe. We've got 3 levels of accommodation: picture window staterooms, the French balcony suites, right up to our signature twin balcony suites. All of the rooms have the iMac entertainment system, so your music, your movies, your TV channels. Wi-Fi is also complimentary throughout your entire cruise experience. But I want to talk about those twin balcony suites. This is a design that we patented and invented because we like to think that we've perfected the balcony experience. So as you see on the left-hand side, that's your typical outdoor balcony, table and chairs. You can actually sit outside, enjoy the weather, enjoy all the lovely views. But what happens when the weather's not so nice? Maybe it's a bit cooler, maybe it's raining outside. That's where we have the matching mirrored indoor balcony that you see on the right. Ceiling to floor windows, table and chairs, so that no matter what the weather, no matter what the temperature, you're always able to enjoy that beautiful balcony experience. Now on board, folks, our ships, we've got multiple lounges for you to relax in. The picture in the top left-hand corner, that's a shot of the main lounge. That's the main hub of activity. This is where the cruise managers give his or her port talks. This is where our locally themed entertainment happens every evening when we are cruising. And after they are done, we've got our onboard musicians play music into the later hours as well. In addition, we've got our library lounge, quieter area to relax, fireplace, some books to read. On the opposite side is our 24-hour cafe and lounge, coffee, tea, espresso available whenever you'd like. And in each of our lounges throughout the day, we've also got complimentary tapas for you to enjoy. Now, speaking of food, folks, this is an area we truly do excel. We've got multiple included dining venues on all of our ships. Picture in the top left-hand corner, that's a shot of the main restaurant. Has about 170 seats in there. We've got about 155 guests on board. What that means, it's open seating. Come and dine whenever, wherever you like, tables of 2, 4, 6, or 8 for you to enjoy. And just this year, folks, we eliminated all self-service buffets. All of our meals are now an elevated a la carte dining experience for you to enjoy. In addition, we've got our private wine rooms to the left and to the right-hand side. They seat about 6 or 8 guests, a bit more of an intimate dining experience if you're traveling with a group of friends. And at the back of the ship, we've got the chef's table restaurant. Seats about 28 guests, a bit of an interactive culinary experience. As you can see, the chefs are back there creating the meals right in front of you. And we make sure everybody gets a chance to dine in here at least once during their journey, because we won't take a second reservation from guests until everybody else has made their first reservation. And if anybody listening tonight's a bit of a food connoisseur, you may be familiar with either Chaîne de Rôtisseurs or Table et Auberge. These are the 2 oldest gastronomic societies in the world, based on a restaurant's food, wine, and service. And we are the only river cruise line to have ever achieved either of these designations. And of course, if you've got any sort of dietary restrictions, please just let the team at CAA NEO know, and they'll make sure that our chefs are aware. They will create an equally impressive array of meals with your specific dietary needs in mind. Some of the onboard service that we've got, if you are the kind of cruiser likes to get a massage or get your hair done, there are those services available on board. As I mentioned, we've got the fitness center, we've got wellness classes with our wellness host. You've got guided cycling tours, bikes that you can take out as well in your free time, anytime you choose. But I will say the most popular area of recreation happens to be those rooftop heated pools we have in all of our main ships over in Europe. Over in France on our boutique fleet, hot tubs for you to enjoy. But folks, these are great areas for you to relax and enjoy all of the stunning sights of Europe as you cruise on by. Now, yes, you're going to see there's a bartender up there to take care of your every need. But folks, with AmaWaterways, a couple of things of note. You can bring on board whatever you like and enjoy it wherever you like. So maybe you've flown over and bought something at duty free, or maybe you've gone off on shore and gone to a winery and bought a bottle of wine. Bring it back on board, enjoy it in the restaurant, enjoy it in the lounge, enjoy it up at the pool. Basically, we want you to enjoy your AmaWaterways River Cruise experience exactly how you wish to do so without ever having to pay anything extra while you are on board. Now, the other big question I always get asked about the pool, when is it open? Folks, it's open 24/7, and it is open our entire season, which runs from the end of February right up through till the end of December, when we do my absolute favorite European river cruise, and those are the Christmas Markets River Cruises. Now, yes, folks, admittedly, in November and December, we do tend to turn the temperature up a bit more in the pool, but I always like to encourage my fellow Canadian guests, if you're going to go on one of those beautiful Christmas Markets River Cruises, please bring your swimwear, go up and enjoy the pool, because it's the perfect opportunity for you to meet your fellow Canadian travelers, because we're the only ones using the pool at that time. So let's talk about what's included with AmaWaterways, folks. Pretty much everything is included. All of your meals are included. All of your drinks with all of your meals. So unlimited beer, wine, and soft drinks. Whatever you've brought on board. Plus, we've got our sip and sail program. It's essentially like a happy hour, so all drinks leading right up till dinner begins. All of your tours are included, and folks, we have no optional excursions. And in the larger cities and towns, we give you a choice of activities, 4, 5, sometimes 6 different tours. You decide what it is you would like to see and do, and that's all included as part of your AmaWaterways River Cruise experience. Now, folks, we try to put no more than 15 or 20 guests per tour guide to ensure a first-class touring experience, and you'll all be given the AudioVox system to listen to the tour guides as you wander around. Now, another thing of note with regards to our excursions, folks, we also have different activity levels. So if anybody listening tonight has any sort of mobility issues, please note we always have gentle pace tours going. We've got regular tours, we've got more active-based tours, guided hiking, guided cycling experiences. As a result, the average age of our guests may surprise you. We've got guests in their 30s all the way up to guests in their 80s and 90s, because they all feel that they can do an AmaWaterways River Cruise exactly how they wish to do so without ever having to pay anything extra while they are on board. But I will say, folks, my favorite enhancement came out in 2019. We were the very first river cruise line to have our own app called My Ama Cruise. Now, this app has all sorts of great information for you before, during, and after your river cruise. Beforehand, information on your cruise, your documents are in there. But my favorite part of this app actually happens when you are on board. Now, I will assume everybody listening tonight has taken a guided tour at some stage in your life. That means you've listened to a tour guide take you all around an area and tell you all about those beautiful sites. They'll tell you about that beautiful castle over there, and they'll tell you all about the history. And of course, you take a picture, remember that. And you carry on your tour a little bit more, and they'll tell you about that historical church. And they'll tell you all about the history. And of course, you take a picture, remember that. And you get back home after your 1 or your 2-week vacation, and you start looking back through your hundreds and hundreds of pictures. And you look back through some of these going, I have absolutely no idea what that is, let alone why I took a picture of this place. Well, folks, if you take all of your pictures now through the My Ama Cruise app, all of the notes that the tour guide gave you on that day will automatically link to the pictures you took that day. Forms into your own digital photo album for you to look at for years and years, and remember every part of your AmaWaterways River Cruise experience. And with one simple click, it's uploaded to your favorite social media site, whether that's Facebook or Instagram. So, folks, this is just a map of everywhere that we cruise in Europe and beyond, and I'll go through them in a bit of a brief overview. But of course, this is why you have the team at CAA NEO to help you with any of the detailed questions that you may have. So let's start with the Danube River, folks. You'll find a whole series of cruises from 7 up to 21 nights, taking you from the higher end of the Danube up in the Netherlands, right down to the lower end, down into Romania. But folks, I love to show these maps because all of the days that you're seeing symbols means these are days that you're choosing from a list of included tours. So as you can see, you're pretty much customizing your touring experience each and every day. Now, the Upper Danube, this will take you from Germany down through to Hungary. And with all of our river cruises, you can extend the cruise experience and go off to some cities or towns which aren't necessarily on the river. So in this case, you could do a 3-night land extension up to the city of Prague. Lower Danube, taking you from Hungary down through to Romania. Again, you can extend your cruise experience, go discover more of Romania, or over to Istanbul, Turkey. And I will say the most popular choice for the Canadians tends to be the longer river cruise experiences. You could do, of course, our Grand Danube, the best of the West and the best of the East, taking you from Germany right down through to to Romania, or the magnificent Europe, taking you from the Netherlands right down through to Hungary. Or the full 21-night experience can also be done right from the North Sea all the way through to the Black Sea. So folks, some of the highlights that you'd see on a Danube River cruise. This is on the lower Danube. These are the Iron Gates, the natural rock borders between Bulgaria and Serbia, which we cruise through during the day for you to enjoy. Budapest, my absolute favorite city in all of Europe, in the evening, lit up like a Christmas tree. Those are the Parliament buildings in the background, the chain bridge in the foreground. Bratislava is always a highlight because it's a very different cultural experience than the neighboring countries on either side. But I also like to point out that sometimes people are looking ahead on their Danube cruise to Vienna the next day. And yes, it is a spectacular city, and some people plan to do some of that world famous shopping there. Well, folks, let me give you a tip. When you're in Bratislava and you've got your free time, wander over to their downtown core. They've got about 80% of the same stores that Vienna do, but for about 35% less of the price. That means the next day when you're in Vienna, you can truly enjoy this magnificent city for everything she has to offer. We are always here for late nights and overnight experiences. And it's not all about the big cities and towns. We stop in some beautiful villages along the way. One of my favorite being Dürnstein, known for their apricot production. And folks, yes, this is the entire length of the village. So as you can imagine, it doesn't take long to tour. When we are doing stops like this, though, you still get a full day of touring. So in the morning, we'll be stopping in Dürnstein, back on board the ship for lunch, and in the afternoon, you'll stop in another cute little town known as Melk. And our home port in southern Germany is a town known as Vilshofen. And folks, this is the capital of Bavaria. This is also where the German Pilsner beer was invented. So what do? We bring you a centuries-old event exclusive just for our guests. That would be Oktoberfest. And folks, I mentioned the Christmas markets. I'll mention them again. They are my favorites. These are distinctly European experiences. Every city and town has their own unique Christmas market. And even when a city has multiple markets, they too are all different from one another. So this is one of 7 different Christmas markets happening in the city of Vienna. What I thought I'd do, folks, is take you on a quick 2-minute journey along the Danube River.
The legendary Danube River has inspired artists and musicians for centuries. Along its riverbed, cities were born, castles were built, and kings and queens were crowned. And when you join us on board one of AmaWaterways award-winning river cruise ships, you will sail through the grand capitals and charming villages where many of these castles remain, including the ruins of Dürnstein Fortress in Austria, where Richard the Lionheart was once held captive. You can hike up to this fortress and as well as spectacular castles in Budapest, Bratislava and Passau, or paddle along the riverside on one of our complimentary bike tours. On our guided tours, you can see where Mozart was born, and The Sound of Music was filmed in Salzburg, or follow the footsteps of the imperial Habsburg family in Vienna. Of course, one of the best ways to explore the Danube region is through your taste buds, and we are delighted to combine a tasting of Bavaria's famous pretzels and beer with a festive cultural experience at our exclusive year-round Oktoberfest in Vilshofen, just for AmaWaterways guests. You can also taste the famous wines from the vineyards, both on board and on shore. All of this and more is waiting for you when you cruise along the Danube River with AmaWaterways.
Folks, that is just a little glimpse into the Danube experience. And folks, what I want to do now is take you over to the Rhine experiences. This is a great set of river cruises that will take you from the Netherlands down through to Switzerland. And you can extend and go along the Main and Moselle rivers, of course, because these are offshoots of the Rhine River. So 7 up to 12 night experiences. That same map, of course, showing all the different days where you can choose your touring experience. Now, the traditional Rhine River, folks, will take you from Amsterdam down to Basel. Again, you can extend this river cruise experience and go into Switzerland or even over to Lake Como, Italy. Now, those longer ones, the 10, 11, 12 nights, those are the ones that will be traveling along the Main or the Moselle rivers. And then you've got some specialty river cruises, including our Tulip Time experience happening in the spring up in the Netherlands and over into Belgium. Some of the highlights here, of course, Strasbourg. This is the capital of the Alsace region of France, known for their incredible wines and also home to gingerbread. Amsterdam, always a highlight, and we will always overnight in this city, so you get a chance to experience this city during the day as well as in the evening. And the Rhine Gorge, folks, is always a highlight. Up to 50 medieval castles, some dating back as far as the 4th century, which we cruise through during the day for you to enjoy. Now, before all of you get excited and think, I'm going to book onto a Rhine River cruise and go and rush and ask your CAA NEO consultant, which side of the ship should I book my balcony suite on so that I see all of the castles? Well, folks, 25 of these are on the starboard side, 25 are on the port side. So it really makes no difference. But as you can see, the river is very narrow. So my suggestion, if you're traveling with friends, book a balcony suite across one another. That way, you just pop over to their balcony and watch that beautiful castle sail on by. And of course, some stunning little towns and villages on the Rhine as well. One of my favorite being Rudesheim in the heart of the Wachau Valley, known for their hillside wines and a number of other great little experiences in this town. And just like on the Danube, folks, you've got incredible Christmas markets experiences. This is one of 4 different Christmas markets happening in the city of Cologne. Now, we're going to move over to France and Portugal, and we highlight these countries separate to the rest of Europe for 2 reasons. First of all, the rivers are not interconnected like the Danube, like the Rhine and the Main and Moselle. They are standalone rivers. They are also smaller rivers. So full-size river cruise ships cannot actually navigate up and down these rivers. So this is where you'll find our boutique fleet of ships. All the same core features from that video I showed you earlier, just a few less guests on board. So in France, 140 passengers. In Portugal, 100 guests. That same map showing all the days that you choose the tours you wish to see and do. Over in France, you've got the Seine River in the northwestern quadrant. We've got 2 ships up there. 2 ships sailing down the Rhone and Saône through the heart of France, and 1 ship over on the rivers of the Bordeaux. Over on the Douro in Portugal, very popular river. We just added a 3rd ship onto the Douro, and we also, for the first river cruise line, to extend the Douro season till the end of December, because in Lisbon and Porto, they too have Christmas markets as well. So some of the highlights, of course, Paris, the capital, always stunning. You can add a stopover here before or after any of your French river cruises. Avignon is the old capital of France. This is also home to the Vatican for about 3 centuries. So that's the Palais de Pope in the background, the Pont d'Avignon in the foreground. Bordeaux region is known for some world famous wines. And of course, we will visit a few of these along the way, including the Saint-Emilion vineyards. And up on the Seine River, very historical part of the country, a number of significant wars fought throughout this region. What we do, though, as a river cruise line is very unique. We're actually going to be separating our guests off into their different nationalities. So when we get here, the Canadians will be able to be taken off to the Juno Beach Center. And also a number of world famous artists also made their home along the Seine. This is actually the home to Monet in Giverny, just outside of Vernon, which we will take you to as well. And over in Portugal, we'll always start with a tour in the capital for 3 nights, and then we'll take you up to Porto. Now, folks, the Douro is really a throwback to old style Europe. These are still the traditional fishing boats used to this very day. This region is also known for its almond groves, its olive trees, and of course, its world famous port wines. But for our Canadian guests, there's a nice surprise about halfway through a Douro river cruise experience. Now, I will imagine a number of you have enjoyed a glass or 2 of Mateus rosé wine in the past, even decorated your house by sticking a candle in the bottle. Well, folks, when you get to Regao, we're actually going to take you to the Royal Mateus Palace, where the Mateus wine is still made to this very day. So grab a glass and enjoy your wander around the palace grounds. And of course, this cruise will finish off on the Spanish border into the medieval city of Salamanca. Now, folks, when you are talking to your NEO consultant and maybe you don't see exactly the river cruise experience you were looking for, please remember, by having a fleet of sister ships, It means you can combine any river cruise together and even get additional savings. I have a lot of guests actually wanting to do the Rhine and the Rhone River. So they'll actually do a cruise from Amsterdam to Basel, take the TGV high-speed train over to Paris, and then do a 7-night river cruise down the Rhone and Saône rivers. So any combination is possible, and we know you're getting the same experience even when you are on different ships. And I talked about those pre and post land extensions that you can add, folks. These are great. We are obviously going to be 3 or 4 nights in 5-star centrally located hotels, but what we do is very unique. We are the only river cruise line where your pre and post packages are also escorted by the same cruise manager that you have just sailed with. So I'm going to get Jonathan to tell you a bit more about those packages.
If you've already booked your cruise with AmaWaterways in a destination far from home, then why not extend your stay by booking one of our pre or post-cruise land packages? Add bonus time in a fascinating city along the river, such as Budapest, Amsterdam or Paris, or venture to another city or country beyond the riverbanks, from Lake Como, Italy, to Spain's Basque Country, to Ha Long Bay, Vietnam, or even Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. Each land package includes overnight accommodations at a world-class 4 or 5-star hotel, as well as daily breakfast, guided excursions, and convenient transfers and luggage service between your hotel and the river cruise ship. Plus, you'll be taken care of by one of AmaWaterways cruise managers like me throughout your river cruise and land journey. Reserve a pre-cruise land package before your river cruise embarks to rest and recover from your international flights, or pamper yourself before returning home on one of our post-cruise packages. Either way, we encourage you to make the most of your long-awaited vacation with AmaWaterways. Join us and stay a while. Just contact your travel advisor to book your pre- or post-cruise land package.
That's just a little bit more about our land packages. Now, folks, I want to talk about some specialty river cruises because AmaWaterways is actually the only river cruise line whose sole focus is river cruising. We don't have an ocean cruising division. We don't have a coach touring division. We are focused on providing new and exciting river cruise experiences and destinations. And this is where you'll find our specialty cruises. So what we've done is we take an existing river cruise and we enhance the experience and add some extra included experiences for you to enjoy. So in 2009, we came up with Celebration of Wine. The idea, bring a North American wine host on board. Have them bring their New World wines from North America and compare them to the Old World wines of Europe where you're traveling through. You get all the same great experiences, plus you get a few extra wine-themed experiences on and off the ship. Well, folks, we started with 2 of those in 2009. This last year, we operated over 100 Celebration of Wine experiences. So the Celebration series is expanding this year. We're going to have Celebration of Music, where we bring a musical host on board. And now you have musical experiences included in Budapest, Bratislava, Salzburg, Vienna, and Melk. And Celebration of Beer also debuts this year, very similar to the wine cruises, where again, you're now going to have enhanced included beer experiences on and off the ships to enjoy. We also have an exclusive partnership starting with the Smithsonian next year. The Smithsonian houses the world's top experts in over 100 different fields. So when a Smithsonian host is on board, we're now going to have curated tours to match to their area of expertise. So if Catherine happens to be on board, she's an art historian, we will now have art history tours for you to enjoy in addition to our regular included experiences. And Soulful Experiences, there's another exciting project that happened for us in 2023, designed to celebrate Black history and cultures over on the rivers of France. We weren't sure what the response would be, but within 4 days, it was completely sold out. It is now a permanent part of our product lineup, having soulful experiences on rivers of France, Portugal, and into some of our exotics. And that leads me to some of my favorite ones outside of continental Europe, and those are the exotics. Yeah, folks, when people go down to these areas, they really want to explore them, but they really want to do it in 5-star safety and security, and this is what a river cruise provides. So we're the very first river cruise line to bring our own ship onto the mighty Mekong River in Southeast Asia. 7-night experience between southern Vietnam and Cambodia. You can extend your stay, go up to northern Vietnam, central Vietnam, or even over into Bangkok, Thailand. Now, folks, when you do any of our exotics, it really is an immersive experience, including experiences, of course, about the food, the religions, the transportation, all of the things that you want to see and do in this area. Now, folks, the ships look a little different to our European vessels because we don't have the same low bridges or locks to go through, but they still have all the same core experiences. This is the Amadara. She's got 124 guests on board, but what I love about her is she's got all signature twin balcony suites. Next, folks, we decided to go into Africa and be the only river cruise line to do a wildlife river cruise experience on the Chobe River in South Central Africa. Now, 7 days on the Chobe along with Victoria Falls, and you can extend your experience to go into South Africa or over into East Africa, whichever you would like to experience. Now, folks, when you go down to Africa, the main reason, of course, is to go and see the wildlife. And if you were to take a land safari, there's never a guarantee that you're going to see all of the wildlife that is in the area. However, with our river cruise experience, we can actually make that guarantee because the Chobe River is the only watering hole between Namibia and Botswana, meaning all of the animals have to come to the river every single day to bathe, to feed. And that's where your guests will be sitting on the beautiful and very intimate Zambezi Queen. Only 28 guests on board. Everybody gets a balcony suite. It's also the only river cruise we have that doesn't have a set itinerary. The captain's sole responsibility, follow the wildlife each and every day so that every morning when you wake up, you'll be dining with the elephants and the giraffes. Next, folks, we decided to go into Egypt on the stunning and historical Nile River. 7 nights round trip from Luxor, 3 nights in Cairo before with a night in Cairo after, and you can extend your stay into Jordan, Dubai, or over to Alexandria, Egypt. Going to Egypt, it's about seeing these stunning sights that you've probably only ever seen on TV before. And again, in an intimate cruise experience. 72 guests on board the beautiful Amadalia. And we just brought out a second ship, the Amalalia, just last year to handle the demand and capacity into the region. And finally, folks, we just made history by being the very first river cruise line to have our own product on the Magdalena River in Colombia in South America. Now, folks, this is a stunning, exciting experience off in between Barranquilla and Cartagena, 7 nights. Also with premium packages in Medellin and into Panama. Now, Colombia, second fastest growing tourist destination in the world. And I want to introduce you to the Colombian River Cruise experience. That, folks, is the Colombian River Cruise experience. Now, these are the brochures, of course, and your CAA team can let you know about all the different destinations we have. But, folks, when we say we take you to the heart of the river, this is truly what we do on any of our river cruise experiences.
Step aboard a world of exceptional experiences, where your journey is our passion. Allow us to share villages that time forgot. Walk along cobblestone streets filled with the lights. Paddle through historic town squares and revel in moments that last a lifetime. When you step aboard AmaWaterways, each day brings a genuine smile that warms the heart. Every river a new culture that inspires. And each course a moment to savor and share. Experience these wonders and delights with AmaWaterways, the heart of the river.
So, folks, that is the AmaWaterways experience. And, folks, the team at CAA NEO will tell you the earlier you book a river cruise, the better offers you are always going to receive. And right now, our anniversary sale is on. Savings of up to $4,800 off per stateroom on about 400 different departures for this year, next year, and into 2027. We also have some great opportunities for the solo guests, though, as well. So if you happen to be a solo traveler, it's not double the twin share price all of the time. We have reduced single supplements of 25%, 10%, or completely waived single experiences. These are on about 40 different departures happening in this year and into next year as well. Now, folks, if you book onto any of those river cruises, you can also take advantage of guaranteed airfares. If you're happening to go this year, $10.99 Canadian round trip. For economy, $29.99 for premium, $49.99 for business class. This is on 15 Canadian gateways across the country. So, and we always use scheduled airline carriers. Now, folks, we've also got some great savings on some of our exotic programs as well, including our Mekong. If you're going to go all the way, make sure to do the full 15-day package, and you can get 2-for-1 pricing on the 8-night land extension. And over to Egypt, folks, extremely popular experience now. And what we're doing right now on about 40 different departures is we actually have complimentary round-trip airfare. And I know I mentioned a little earlier that we've extended the season in Portugal. We also did this in Bordeaux. These are destinations where actually guests traditionally go for snowbirding, south of France, over into the Algarve. So we decided to extend the river cruise experiences because there's Christmas markets happening. So we've got some great opportunities. In addition to the anniversary sale, you can also get complimentary round-trip airfare on about 10 or 15 different departures. So if you're looking to go this year, get in touch with your CAA NEO consultant and take advantage of those incredible and exclusive savings. But Karen mentioned it earlier, folks, and I'm going to mention it again. We work very closely with CAA. In fact, you get member benefit savings on every single river cruise we have, in addition to whatever the early booking offers are. But they also have a vacation amenities program, folks, where on these savings, you will also get additional benefits in addition to your member benefits, in addition to whatever the early booking offers are. So, folks, great way to take advantage, of course. Make sure to talk to your CAA NEO travel consultant. But as a special thank you for tuning in tonight, I also want to extend another $200 off per couple for any new booking you make at any of the NEO stores in the next couple of weeks. And of course, if you happen to be a past AmaWaterways guest, folks, there's additional savings that you will be able to take advantage of as well. So folks, that is my presentation for this evening. But if you've got any extra questions, now is the time to type them into the little chat box, and we will handle these at the end. But I've also done enough of these presentations before to know some of the questions you are preparing to ask. So, weather and seasonality. As you heard, we pretty much cruise from end of February right through to the end of December. Great times to go no matter what time of the year. And remember, the weather over in Europe is not traditional Canadian weather. So they get warmer much earlier and stay warmer much later. Health and safety, folks, 24-hour security on all of our ships and key card control access. All of our staff are first aid trained. You'll probably start hearing that visas are soon going to be required for all guests to travel over to Europe. These will be electronic visas. And of course, the team will be able to let you know when those are in place. Dress code on all of our cruises, smart casual environment, no formal nights whatsoever, so no jackets and ties required, no fancy cocktail dresses. And if you're going to bring any sort of appliance from over here in Canada, please remember it's European voltage throughout our ships. So you'll need those little travel adapter and converter kits in order for them to operate properly. If you don't have one, it's quite convenient. We're doing a presentation tonight with CAA. Just drop into one of your local stores and you can pick that up there as well. And of course, currency on board, there's not really a lot that you can purchase, but maybe you do want to get a massage, get your hair done. The prices on board our European vessels would be in euros. Over on the exotics, it would be in the US dollar. Of course, you simply check in with your Canadian credit card and everything will get charged back to you at the end of your cruise. So folks, I'll open the floor up to any other questions. You can type in the little chat box, but I'm going to bring my lovely friend Karen back on board to tell you about those spectacular CAA travel consultants that I was just raving to her about before we even started this presentation. So Karen, my friend, over to you.
Thank you, Neil. That was absolutely amazing. And we did have one question, but they said you answered it during the presentation. So that was a couple from Sudbury that had joined us. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
As Neil had mentioned, our travel team are traveling and they have done many cruises this year with AmaWaterways. So they've got the experience and they're ready to serve you, whether you're looking at Europe or the new destinations of Colombia or the Mekong or Africa. Very exciting what you're coming out with every year, something new and exciting for us. And don't forget, CAA, you're going to get those exclusive benefits that you're not going to find anywhere else. So essentially, we are your one-stop shop, assisting you with every component of the travel. If you're looking for our upcoming travel talks, I know next month we are going to be traveling with G Adventures. You can register there with that QR code on the left-hand side. Our next travel talk is actually going to be on the 19th of November. If you'd like to book an appointment with our travel counselors at a time that's convenient for you to go in and talk about AmaWaterways, please make an appointment there. And our past travel talks, or if you'd like to share this presentation with some friends that you'd like to be traveling with, will be available online tomorrow by hitting that QR code right there on the right-hand side. So Neil, I don't see any other questions, so you must have done an incredible job answering them all. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and have a wonderful evening. Thanks again, Neil.
All right. Thanks, Karen. Thanks, everyone.